Hi guys, today I am making gingerbread pancakes. I made these the other day and my son just loved them. And so he's asked me to make them again. And I thought, better film it this time, right? So let's get stuck in. Write this down as I go. This will be in the book, and I have been working hot and heavy in getting this book finished. And I've got a publisher who's going to design a cover, and everything is just lining up with the stars for this to happen. So I've really been working hot and heavy the last couple days, and I'm hoping very, very soon I'll have it ready. Okay, so this recipe will be in there because I just created it. Okay, so we're going to start off, and I've got it all written down this time because you know me, I don't write things down, so I had to do that so that I could recreate it for you. So I've got it all written down. Let me set this over here where I can see it. So the first thing that we want to do is make buttermilk, okay, vegan buttermilk. So my thing is my little bowl is kind of full here, but I've got 2 cups of soy milk, and you can use whatever plant-based milk you want. And then to that we're going to put 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, okay? And then do your wet ingredients first so that these things have a chance to set up while you're getting your dry ingredients. And you keep the wet and dry separate until you're ready to mix them together, right? Okay, so this kind of curdles the milk and just gives it a sour flavor, and it very much resembles buttermilk, all right? So that's how you make vegan buttermilk, in case you didn't know. All right, and the second thing we're going to do is make a flax egg, actually 2 flax eggs. So I have 5 tablespoons, well, 1 flax egg, sorry. I can't read my own writing. So I have 5 tablespoons of warm water, and to that I'm going to put a tablespoon of ground flaxseed, okay? And that's why we're doing this first, so that that has a chance to kind of gel up and do what it needs to do while we're getting the rest of the stuff ready. So that's over here sitting, all right? That's my egg. All right. And then the only other wet ingredients I have, I'll add separate, but it's going to be 1 cup of pumpkin, and I'm using pumpkin because that's what I had in the freezer left over from Halloween. If you don't have pumpkin, you can use sweet potato or smashed banana. You do you, okay? It's going to turn out the same. This is just our moisture, you know, that would resemble butter or margarine or whatever added in, okay? And then you're going to have 3 tablespoons of maple syrup and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And those are all our wet ingredients that we will add after we get our dry ingredients going. Now, generally I will mix up my types of flours. I will put some whole wheat and some unbleached white flour, and I have run out of wheat flour, so this is going to be all just the unbleached because that's what I've got on hand. But you're going to need 3 cups of flour, and you just break that up however you prefer it to be, okay? Whatever type of flour you want to use. You can make them all wheat if you want. You can make it buckwheat. Just like I said, you do you. And this measure is only 1/2 cup, so that's why I'm scooping in here so many times. Okay, so I've got 3 cups of flour there. Okay, and to that, I am going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And 1 tablespoon of aluminum-free baking powder. Be sure that that is aluminum-free, okay? Because that's our big worry with baking powder these days, is that aluminum. And then if you're not on a salt-free diet, you can add a little bit of salt at this point, but I don't really see a need to do that. And I try to eliminate my salt whenever I can. And so I'm not going to do that. Now I'm going to mix this up really good to get that all nice and combined. And if you have self-rising flour, then of course you can use that and not have to add baking soda and baking powder to it. Okay, and then here comes our spices. And we are going to use 1 teaspoon each of ground ginger, and get it out of there. Ground ginger, cardamom. Let's open that up. Cardamom, cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon. And you'll be happy to see I finally got some really good cinnamon. And yes, I had to order it online because nobody in my little town has any good cinnamon. And I like a lot of cinnamon, so I'm actually doing 2 teaspoons of the cinnamon. Okay, and then again, just mix those spices in really well so that everything is incorporated throughout and you get the flavors all through it. Now at this point, I am going to turn on my little griddle pan, and I'm going to put that medium-high heat, and it's just a non-stick griddle pan. I don't use any oil or anything. I have a non-stick pan, and it doesn't stick, okay? If you have a ceramic pan, you can use that as well. Had this thing forever, and I've never used oil and never had a problem with it. Okay, then we're going to add our wet ingredients to our dry. Okay, here's where I'm going to get messy because this was frozen and then defrosted. And this is my cup of pumpkin. And we want that griddle going while we finish this up because we want it good and hot. Alright, then turn this back over so I can see. 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. I am a person that I just like to, this cinnamon has a cinnamon stick. I mean, this maple syrup has a cinnamon stick in it. If you're wondering if you can see that on camera, I don't know how well that picks up. This is actually cinnamon flavored, cinnamon infused maple syrup. So that cinnamon stick is flopping around in there. Anyway, I like to just eat my pancakes with my hand. I don't put them on a plate and cover them in syrup. And for one thing, you know, I'm trying to watch my weight and I don't need all that sugar. But for the others, I just like to grab and go. The other day, my son had his plate full and he couldn't eat all his, and he had maple syrup on it, and I tasted it and I was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe how good it was. I haven't had syrup on pancakes in so many years, I didn't even remember what it tasted like, okay? All right, then we're gonna do our vanilla. And we just want a teaspoon of the vanilla. Okay, then we're going to put in our flax egg because it's had time to kind of gel up by now. Soaked in there really good. And then our milk. And see, if you can see the chunks of that, see that's what it does when you add that apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to do this a little at a time just in case I don't need all that moisture. And I think it'll be a lot easier to stir if I just do it a little at a time instead of all of it at once. And hopefully the camera shows my bowl there. Now let me just tell you, at this point, this batter is thick enough that you could put these in some a silicone pan and make these into muffins, or you could put it in like an 8x8 round or square pan and make just a little cake out of it. If you didn't want to stand here and cook these pancakes for as long as it takes to do a whole batch of pancakes. You know, my back is hurting me a lot. The last thing I want to do is stand at the oven or stand at the stove, and I don't have to stand at the oven. I can just pop it in and go. So don't think that, oh, I can't do pancakes because of my disability or whatever. Certainly take this mixture, pop it in a muffin pan or a regular pan, and you can enjoy it that way, okay? And this batter is really thick, so you could, if you wanted to, even make these into waffles. Okay. It's getting really incorporated now. I don't have to worry about sloshing as much. I can stir a little bit harder. And hopefully you'll be able to see. I will probably move the camera over so that you can see a bit better once I start cooking these up. Okay, so then I'm just going to take, let me show you the batter. There we go. That's the consistency you want. So I'm just going to take it, drop it down on my griddle. And, it's not quite as hot as I would like it. We're going to do this anyway, and then it can be sitting here while I move the camera over. And I don't like to make them too big because they're harder to flip for me, but you make them as big as you want. Okay? And then I'm going to put my batter here close by and move you over closer so that you can see it cooking, okay? And give me just 1 second here to adjust everything. How's that? Then you can see what it's doing. And I do this the old-fashioned way. I watch for the bubbles and I watch the edges so that I see that they're starting to get a bit dry, and that's how I know when it's time to flip them over. So I don't time it or anything like that. That's just the way that I was taught to do them. See my new sign my hubby got me for the holiday? He said, "My food tastes like magic." Ah! Wasn't that cute? He got me a little apron that goes with it, and I should be wearing it, to be honest, and I'm not. I didn't even think about it, but there's a little apron that matches it, and of course, hubby being British, he calls it a penny, which is short for pinafore. For those of you who didn't know that, back in the old days, you know, they pinned them to the clothes, and so it was a pinafore, and so British still calls it penny. Calls it a penny. Don't forget your penny, Mom. And let's see. We're ready to flip. And see how that didn't stick at all with no oil. No oil's needed there. I don't make pancakes very often. I used to, I guess, when I was younger. Again, it's hard for me to stand, you know, for a very long time. and I'm just lazy, I guess. It makes a big mess and I have to clean it up, but for some reason I was just thinking, gosh, I would really like some pancakes. And you know, I miss the gingerbread cookies and ginger biscuits, hubby calls them, ginger biscuits. And so I thought, I bet I could make pancakes that kind of tasted like gingerbread, and they sure did. Let me tell you, they sure did. And you know, the kids were real pleased with these. And you can see how much this is just puffing up there. Let me hold it up real quick for you. See how thick that is? So imagine, you know, like I said, you could turn those into muffins or put it in a silicone pan and bake it as a cake if you don't want to stand here and make pancakes if you're lazy like me. But they sure turned out real nice. I was quite pleased with them. So that's it. I'm not going to make you stand here and watch me cook all of them. You get the gist of it. You just keep frying them up like this. Hope you enjoy this recipe. If you do, please do give me a thumbs up. Share with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Have a good day.